Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our latest of the live panel discussions for the JeopardyFan.com. Once again, I am Andy Saunders, and I will be moderating the discussion this evening. A welcome to our panelists. First of all, returning panelists, my co-blogger, Jeannie Kenkel. We also have returning panelists Ben Ingram, who is a junk coordinator, hoping to put lots of junk in his brain for the upcoming Tournament of Champions, which is going to be airing in a couple of months. We also have returning Josh Frumkin. Welcome back, Ben and Josh, and a couple of new panelists. First up, from the Battle of the Decades tournament, Bill McDonald. Hello, Bill. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, I wish I'd been in the Battle of the Decades tournament.
Oh, I'm sorry. Jeannie said you were. My bad.
Yeah, you were there in the studio audience.
I was in the audience, yeah.
Okay, so Bill has some insights from that. Oops. We're live, folks. I can't cut that out. And we also have Eric Hirsch, who was a contestant this past week, so I'm hoping that she has some insight for us from behind the scenes from the first week of episodes from Season 31. First up, the returning panelists already have been asked this question, but I want to hear it from everyone anyway. Of course, last week, Alex, his facial hair returned. What do we think? I think Ben likes it. He's growing his own beard.
Well, Ben is growing his own beard out of sloth, as I mentioned before we turned the on button on. I think it needs to fill out because you remember the old 70s days, like the high rollers days when he had the fro and he had the bushy mustache. Now it looks like a broom. So I think that the jury is still out on that one, but if it were curlier and less like the bottom of a broom, then I'd be for it. But give it time. Give it time, I say.
Okay. I should also ask Erica, how surprising was it for you to see Alex come out with a mustache?
So we were all sitting there waiting for the game to start for him to come out, and everyone's saying, wouldn't it be great if he came out with a mustache, which is how you know you're in a room full of Jeopardy nerds when that's the topic of discussion. Mm-hmm. And he came out with a mustache, and I'm pretty sure you can hear us on camera all gasping that he had a mustache, which we were just talking about. But I personally don't like it.
Yeah. I think I have the feeling I'm the only one in the panel, at least, who actually likes it at this point. But
it looked weird. It looked weird after not, especially when I actually physically met him. You know, he didn't have it. But it's been a good while since he had it. So, you know, and again, like Ben said, it looked a little different. It was probably quite a bit darker, you know, that I remember him having it. So, which happens to all of us, of course. But yeah.
Okay, so moving on to some other stuff from the week, the states that flow together category for Monday. Basically, where you had. I guess we could start off. What do you guys think of that while I pull up an example? But do we all remember that category? The states to flow together. It was from Monday.
Yeah, I remember there was a triple stumper that I got, but I don't remember exactly what it was.
I remember it the same way you remember a bad toothache or throwing out your back. It was very painful, and it seemed to last for way too long.
It was not the
like the amount of thought that took.
It was not the worst I've ever seen. The worst I've ever seen was two completely unrelated things. But the only reason that I knew the St. Louis one and the East St. Louis one was because on Liz and my second date, I took a wrong turn. No, it was the right turn. We went over the Eads Bridge, and some of y'all know how much I'm crazy about bridges. And that connected St. Louis to East St. Louis, so I knew Missouri and Illinois. So I was like, oh, I get it. And I think I got, what did I get in that category? I missed one, but I thought it was pretty good, but of course we'll never see it again. And in a way, good riddance.
People didn't seem to get it. I don't know if it was just not explained well enough. I didn't think it was particularly, like insanely difficult or anything like that, but just it didn't. Yeah, there was no flow to it, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think it helped that Steve actually couldn't get the category and actually took a couple of negs at the top and the bottom of that category.
That's true.
But I kind of liked it myself, but also, yeah, again, if you realize that East St. Louis is Illinois and St. Louis is Missouri, it helps to remember the Missouri, Illinois with the shared I in common. But
you know what might have confused some people? The first two clues, I'm looking at it right now. One has St. Louis, the other has East St. Louis. That's Missouri and Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
The next one is Hoover Dam is on their border. Those two pairs of states have a river going in between them, and the river flows. That confused me at first when I was playing along.
Oh.
And so does Georgia and Alabama, technically, for a little while. The next one was what? It was
Louisiana and Arkansas.
They share a river.
Yeah.
And
then
well, the last two
finally,
obviously don't.
Colorado and Oklahoma.
I don't believe they share a river. So I missed that one. Go figure. Weird category, though.
Oh, wait a second. Interesting. I just looked this up. The Arkansas River actually flows through Colorado, Kansas, and Oklahoma.
But it's not a border. That's what I meant. See, this is the
enough,
international sign of border.
Okay. I didn't realize there was an international sign. Actually, I have a question specifically for Erica with regards to Howard's Final Jeopardy response.
Yes.
How long was the tape stopped for, if at all, to discuss what he had said or what he had responded on that Godspell clue with Judas versus John the Baptist?
Well, for me, it seemed like it was forever because I was standing up there with nothing to do. They did stop the tape. Mm-hmm. I would say it was probably at most 5 minutes, but I remember it taking forever. But yes, they did stop it. They did have some researchers look it up and went back and re-recorded. Alex Trebek had first had said it was wrong.
Okay.
How did they know to look it up?
Yeah, that's a good question.
That I honestly, my memory of my game is pretty poor. I don't know if anyone else had this experience, but I think
I remember your game pretty well.
As far as I remember, Howard did have an explanation that he was sure that they were the same character in the musical.
So did Trebek rule against him at first then, and that was just taken out?
Yes.
Okay.
So you're saying Howard brought it up?
Yes.
Oh, wow, nice.
Everyone sort of did but yeah.
That's kind of
ruled wrong
and they figured it wouldn't affect the winner, so they could go ahead and redo it.
Right. I think there was maybe someone, one of the researchers or producers who said, wait, let's look this up. So I know literally nothing about Godspell, as you could tell. So
I was in a production of Godspell, and I was like, oh, I know that was the actor who played Judas. And then I said, wait, was he playing Judas or John the Baptist at that time? And I went back and forth on both, and finally I said, it's got to be John the Baptist, otherwise you couldn't figure it out from the question if you'd never seen the show.
Yeah.
Captain, why were they the same person?
Say again?
Why were they the same person? I still don't know that.
They're played
the
by
way the show is written, it's a company show, and they just have different people from the company play different parts. And the person who plays the part of John the Baptist also plays the part of Judas.
I get it.
That's weird that they gave it. I mean, it's too. I thought based on the ruling then that it was the same character.
Yeah, I thought that
two
too.
names. That's weird to give it a to kind of.
Apparently, in the play, they've sort of collapsed them into one character.
Gotcha.
Huh.
Strange.
Yeah. Weird.
Actually, in the play, the rest of the characters are named after the actors who originally portrayed them. Only Jesus and the Judas/John the Baptist character are names that come from the Bible.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
No.
But I would say quite interesting, actually. I learned something new tonight. Let's see. What else? Do we think that I thought that Bill Cosson might have been able to take part tonight because I kind of wanted to know what his thought process was on his magazine daily double at the end of his game Thursday. Just because obviously a larger daily double bet would have meant a lock game for him on Thursday night. What does the rest of the panel think of that? Had you been up in his position, do you think you might have made the slightly bigger bet?
Well, first of all, it wasn't a penultimate wager. There was $6,000 left on the board. So
there was, but Alex had also given kind of a minute to go signal as well. So we knew it was kind of getting close to the end.
I would have bet 3,000.
Okay.
Yeah, because that protects the crush. Because Jesse had 9,400. If he had 6 of that, that's 15,400. Yeah, if you bet that much, then it protects the crush, and that means that's like half a lock right there. But that's just me talking.
It's tough. I don't know. I thought about that when I was watching it. Why didn't he bet that much? It seemed it was getting down to the end. At the same time, you're up there. They're asking you for a wager. I mean, everything is the lights are on you. It's the end of the game. He was struggling. He wasn't struggling as much in that game as the Friday game, but still, it's hard to think that's a little easier before Final Jeopardy because you have a little bit more time to play with the scrap paper. But it's tough in the moment. Everything's tough in the moment.
Yeah.
But it was such a relatively small amount extra that he needed to wager to take the lead. I thought if you're going to bet that much, why not bet enough to take the lead there?
But I wonder how much mental math goes into, because all of y'all are on the show, and Andy, you soon will be. I myself, I spent a lot of time doing a lot of the hardest mental arithmetic I had to do was like multiplying by 3 and dividing by 2 to figure out a crush. But it might be interesting to hear y'all's thoughts about that.
Personally, I wasn't in that position. I mean, going to final, I did some work beforehand to figure out what I would bet, and then I was in first all 3 times, so it wasn't, the work was for naught.
Whatever.
Yeah, but I lost. And everybody does at some point, except for Brad Rutter. And but daily doubles, I just did on feel basically. I kind of felt like, all right, do I want to bet big? My first game where I was up big, it was like, do I just want to put this game away? And then was angry at myself that I didn't bet even bigger than I did. But the rest of the time, it was just like 3,000. I mean, I knew I didn't want to bet less than whatever the biggest category, what the biggest dollar amount was on the board. So I was going to bet minimum 2,000 in double, minimum 1,000 in single, and then do I know the category? And it was just kind of gut feel, which is not probably not the best way to do it, but that's the way it went.
It's better than a lot of other strategies in the fact that you at least thought about it beforehand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get any daily doubles, but that was my Final Jeopardy process was tough because musical theater was one of those right in the middle categories for me.
Mm-hmm.
Where I know a lot about some, but not a lot about others, and the game was...
Did that influence the way that you bet, or...?
I went back and forth. I'm also really... Math is not my strong suit, let's say that. So I had come up with a wager, and then I looked and said, I don't know if they know anything about musical theater, which is obviously a mistake. Again, there's sort of gut feeling, and then I bet bigger, and then I went back in something I knew nothing about. I probably, if I had some more money, if I hadn't answered that last $2,000 question or 1,600 and gotten it wrong, I probably would have bet higher if I had a little bit more money to go with.
I like that. I mean, I like that that was a good move to try to grab the lead at the end there. I mean, could have worked out, but it was, I thought that was pretty solid. I like that.
Thank you.
I missed that one myself. If y'all are interested, I wrote the Tamil Tiger.
I had no idea.
Which one?
The one about the I don't mean to turn a knife in the wound, but the one about the smallest subspecies of tiger lives only on the Indonesian island near Java for which it's named. That one, I'm looking at the archive.
Oh.
And because I'm an idiot, I said the Tamil Tiger, and I don't think Tamil is even an island.
It's part of
or an animal,
isn't it?
It's the
Tamil Tiger is a terrorist organization, or a one-time ruled terrorist organization.
It's not even a tiger.
Okay, I got off stage, and my boyfriend, after congratulating me, said, "I knew that one, the tiger."
Oh, don't! That's the wrong thing to say, boyfriend.
It was a little bit late.
Say that.
More fair to him, because he can probably hear me in the other room too. But he did tell me that he knew it. So.
So I should also ask, being that we have Erica, did you have any regrets about your appearance on the show? As in, was there anything you, other than, I guess, I wish I'd won, but do you have any other, or anything you want to say positive about your experience as well?
So I would say my regret is when I was studying and I was watching Jeopardy every night, as I'm sure most of you did before, and I would say, every other day, I have to put something down for Final Jeopardy. You would just have to guess. You might be right, and I didn't end up putting anything down. I just couldn't think of. I just completely blanked out. But that was my one rule that I broke, so I regret that. But overall, it was a really, really great experience. I've been watching Jeopardy for as long as I can remember, and it was incredible. And except for that outcome, I'm really happy with my performance.
I think you should be.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
think so too. Yeah.
Erica, I saw you tweet that you were looking forward to reading people's tweets about your appearance. Was there anything interesting that you found?
Most people were tweeting about how I looked very angry, or I didn't look at all excited to be there.
Oh.
I don't know if anyone watches Parks and Recreation. Reddit felt that I sounded like April Ludgate.
Worst thing. Not bad.
Can I curse on here? Is that that I have resting a B-word face that I think came across on TV. I wanted to respond to them, but I figured it wasn't the time to make my account not private. So, but nothing hurtful. Just it was all very funny.
You took the high road, in other words.
Exactly.
Good.
No, I actually really enjoyed reading about it. I read about celebrities online, so it was fun to read about myself.
Cool.
And that's an interesting segue into a discussion point that I think I've got for the panel. In the, I guess, social media era, do we think that, you could almost, to a way, call it harassment in terms of, the negative things that can be said about contestants on Jeopardy? Do we think that happens more often now in the social media days, or is it just more public that it seems to happen? maybe it always happened, just you couldn't see it as much. But do we think it, or do we just think it's something that just happens more often these days now that everyone has a Twitter account?
Well, first of all, social is
I was
Latin for stupid.
shocked by how many people
Oh, my bad.
actually tweet.
So it appears as if, okay, there we go. Erica is coming back. Awesome. Okay, come on.
Sorry, Erica.
Sorry for the technical difficulties.
Okay.
I stepped on you.
I think I'm on a little bit of a delay.
Oh.
Okay, I'm not sure how much we got, so if you want to start again with your response.
Sure. I was just shocked by how many people actually do tweet about Jeopardy. You know, it seems like the thing that I watched with my parents. I know a lot of people watch it, but it still seems a little bit nerdy. So the fact that people are actually doing that was crazy to me, and a lot of fun to see.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually made some Twitter friends when I was on, because I started looking maybe, I think like around noon, because it airs, earlier in other parts of the country. So I started looking around noon, and as people would make fun of me for missing the first Final Jeopardy, I would respond back. They'd get like super embarrassed because, it was I loved it to put them on the spot like that. And then, we'd start like chatting back and forth, and it was great. There's a fun aspect to it, I guess.
One of my friends who works in social media did a few responses for me because I didn't want to make my Twitter account unprivate, and people were so scared. They were like freaked out by that someone was talking back to them.
Now, I guess speaking of Twitter, I'm not sure how many people were paying attention to Ken's Twitter account today, but apparently he made a joke that didn't go over very well on some parts of the internet. I believe the tweet was, "Nothing sadder than a hot person in a wheelchair."
Oh.
Do we think that this was one of those... sorry, he said, "There's nothing sadder than a hot person in a wheelchair." Do we think this was, again, as I like to say, good thought, bad execution, or should he have just not said anything in the first place?
I wonder if he runs his own Twitter.
Did he mean sexy or just extremely warm?
I think he went for...
Because if he meant extremely warm, then he might have a point.
I think he... I didn't ask him to do, and I took it the other way. But that seemed like an interesting question to possibly ask at some point if anyone wants to broach the subject with Ken.
Well, I mean, I certainly don't know him, but it seems like he has a lot of comedian friends, and maybe maybe they're being a bad influence on him. I don't know.
He's got people. I think people are running his Twitter account, his entourage or his agent or his publicist or something like that. Someone screwed up.
I think he definitely runs his own Twitter account.
You think? He's pretty good at it.
He has time.
He has somebody who's really good at imitating his voice.
Why do all like quiz contestants, I don't know if it's a stereotype or whatever, but all of, I guess, us are seen as snarky. Now, I'm pretty snarky, but Ken Jennings seems to be the king of snark. I don't know if that's a coincidence. Maybe I should be snarkier.
I thought Brad Rutter was proven to be the king of snark. Didn't we have a big tournament?
The snark off. I'd pay to watch that. Be on a 4-digit channel.
A 4-digit channel.
Yeah.
Maybe they could program Watson to be snarky.
I think that might have convinced a lot of people more as to Watson being human if Watson could be snarky.
He's like the Turk. He's like the modern day Turk. There had to have been a person in there.
I think there was, myself.
Maybe it was Tom Watson.
I just don't get his sense of humor, I guess. But so I didn't know about that tweet till now.
I picked up on it because I think Arthur Chu was discussing it as well today. So it seemed
on
like
Twitter
it's yes, Arthur Chu was discussing it on Twitter.
Okay.
And
I thought he took a Twitter hiatus.
Arthur?
I
No.
guess not.
He's been tweeting.
Oh, okay. Good for him.
It sounds like he's up to his usual stuff, and I haven't seen any Twitter hiatus out of Arthur Chu, but
No. I saw he just tweeted yesterday that he's watching contestant interviews, like people that he's going to be in the TOC with, to try and spot their weaknesses. I don't know if he's really doing that, but that's what he tweeted.
Maybe he's watching us right. Maybe he's watching us right now. Then I don't know.
Yeah, could be.
Well, I don't have a particular weakness. I think all of me is weak, so he's not going to discover much. I'm a quick study, as my granddaddy used to say.
Yeah. So if you're watching Arthur,
misinformation.
So if you're watching Arthur, Ben's a pushover.
Don't
I didn't
ask
add the. No, I did add the extra dollar. Bad, yeah. What's that?
You just hope they don't ask questions about the alphabet.
Well, I wish they would ask more questions about the Mauritania. I'd sweep that category. That was my clue of the week right there, by the way.
So my favorite get for the whole week was actually Erica. There was the clue because I remembered it because it jumped out about Canadal, about what Canadal was, and I think you got that. So people might not know this if they're not from like the Baltimore. I grew up in Baltimore, outside of Baltimore. So Howard's from Pikesville, which is like the Jewish area of Baltimore. It's like 90-something% Jewish. And so for him to get beat on and I had a lot of friends who grew up. I didn't grow up there, but a lot of friends who grew up near there or in that town. So for you to beat somebody from Pikesville on a matzo ball question was it made me very happy.
Well, I got that one too. Can I get a plus on that?
I have a New Jersey
Okay,
question, but not the New Testament question. But that's what happens when you're raised Jewish.
Yeah. I had the same thing when I was. Yep, absolutely.
Hey, Erica, was Howard's son in the audience, the one who'd been on the show before? Do you know?
No, he wasn't.
Oh, okay. Just wondering.
He wasn't. No. Yeah. No, that would have been fun.
Yeah.
Though I'm sure the contestant coordinators would have been very quick to point him out had he been there, I think.
Yeah, I
At
think.
least from my experience.
Although
of
my
hearing
friend who my story was about was there, and he didn't get. I think he was very thankful that he didn't actually get called out.
That's why he brought up the tiger.
You can throw Sart right back in his face. I bet he didn't get that one. That's a hard $800 clue in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I am going to check through the usual channels to make sure, just in case anyone has left a question for the panel. Let's see. Looks like we appear to have the usual spam.
Ask one of those.
Did he answer it?
Yeah.
Actually, here's the thing. The username is in Arabic, and they've left 3 smiley faces as a comment. So I guess they're enjoying our discussion tonight.
Oh.
All right.
I don't see any. I don't look. I don't see anything on. I don't see any blog comments. I don't see any. I don't think I see. I don't see anything on Facebook. So, does any of the panelists have any questions for any of the other panelists while we have everyone here? Now, I believe you're going to tape soon for the Tournament of Champions, Ben. Assuming that we don't have a hangout before taping, I do want to wish you the best of luck in your taping. And,
we should have one Monday. I mean, well, I'll be not overseas, but in California, which pretty much overseas for me. Because I come from Bill Cosson land.
Yeah.
It was good to see him win. Everybody did good.
Yeah.
No offense, Erica.
Well, Bill, he had said on the boards that he was interested in coming, but then when I asked him, he, as he said on the show, his wife's having a baby now anytime, so he didn't want to commit to coming tonight, and then I didn't hear anything else from him, so that's why he's not here.
The old baby excuse.
Yeah.
One of the Blue Jays analysts had a baby and was off air for a couple of days, so that's a good excuse to have, I think.
Yeah.
Well, Erica, can I ask you this? How many finals did you know from the week?
Sorry?
How many final Jeopardies did you know throughout the entire week?
Uh-oh, is she frozen?
Uh-oh.
So I got that first one that nobody got, I believe, about Dr. Seuss. Can you hear me?
Yep,
Yeah.
we can hear you. Yep.
I can hear you.
Okay. So in terms of Final Jeopardies, the first one that nobody got, I knew that one with Dr. Seuss. And I don't believe I knew the second one.
The European
Which honestly,
capitals.
this whole week was such a blur. European capitals, I did not know that one.
And
then mine, I obviously didn't know. Thursday was
the foreign words.
Oh, I actually did not know that one, but the internet was telling me it was easy. And I actually didn't get a chance to watch on Friday night, so I don't know that one.
Okay. Fridays, again, was Movies About Movies. The title character of this 2013 film was played by David Tomlinson.
Oh, yeah.
Who was actually seen only in clips from a 1964 film.
I think Erica's gone now.
She didn't want to be spoiled.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to spoil nothing. I was just saying that it's one of those cases where, could have won 80% of the time. You just got the 20%. That's all. Happens to everybody.
Mm.
Yeah.
I was kind of surprised people didn't get that Dr. Seuss one. I didn't think it was crazy hard. I mean,
I got that one right.
Yeah.
So.
I also got that one right. I got Fridays right as well. From I got the Movies About Movies, but only because I had recently written an old Disney theme night for my pub quiz.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
So yeah, and that's been the last. Or at the time I wrote the quiz, that had been the most recent live action Disney movie.
Mm.
Okay.
Well, let me ask y'all this. How many of y'all knew the Mauritania one? I hope everybody. Please say everybody.
I don't even know what clue you're talking about, Ben.
I remember.
Oh, it was. I gave it away. Yeah.
I'm looking it up, though.
She was the fastest ship on 2 feet.
It wasn't from last week?
It was from last week. It was on, Thursday? Oh, it was. Wait a minute, I got it up right now. It was on.
It was earlier.
It was Monday. It was the very first day. It was the one I missed.
Huh. Okay. Oh, Erica's back.
Erica's
Good,
back.
she
Awesome.
saved me just in
Sorry
time.
about that. I lost you.
Yeah, I think Google's been having some issues for the last couple of days anyway, so we can blame them.
Sure,
I've been having issues the last couple of days. I bet Erica knew the Mauritania one.
Which is the Mauritania question?
Oh, dang it. I was so excited to see it. It was the sister ship of the Lusitania.
Oh. That's one of those ones I might have been able to remember in the moment, but who knows?
Yeah. It changes you, doesn't it, when you go up there and they actually fire the gun and do all that.
It was a total blur.
Yeah.
Erica, did you go the next day to watch the next episodes?
Yes, I was very excited to see all the people that I was hanging out with for a few hours.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Good. Good for you.
You still keep up with them?
No, actually, I haven't. Unfortunately, I lost, and then I just wanted to get out of there, and that was it.
I have a question, Erica. Did they introduce any of the, say, contestant coordinators or the producers or anybody like that who was introduced to you as new?
Amy, I believe, was new.
Amy.
She had started recently as a contestant coordinator.
Oh, yeah. I've heard the name.
Yeah, I have too. I think she said something on Facebook about it because this was maybe like 6 months ago or something. Because Enos left a comment about it at the time because she was on the show, I guess, last season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, and then she got. Jeez. I don't know you could work that. I didn't realize there was an angle to work there. Jeez.
Yeah, I know. It must have happened immediately because by the time her show aired, she was a contestant coordinator.
Huh.
Too bad Enos wasn't here. He could probably tell us exactly who it was, but I can try to find it.
5. Oh, no, Maggie moved up.
Yeah. But then for all the Battle of the Decades, I never saw an Amy that I know of. I mean, all the old standards were there. Robert, Glenn, Maggie, and Karina. Were they all there for yours?
Well, there was a new person. There was a new person at Battle of the Decades, and I can't remember, so that might have been Amy.
Oh.
There was a woman that I hadn't met before.
Okay. Well, then maybe I just didn't know she was a contestant coordinator. That's possible. But the other 4 were still there, Erica?
Yep, everyone was there.
Good.
And did they talk about me?
Who?
Who? Yeah, who?
I don't think so, but that doesn't mean they didn't.
Oh,
I went to college with someone who was on the college tournament, and I sit down at the table, and there's a picture of him staring directly at me.
Wow.
That was interesting. Past contestants, showing up.
Yeah. Wow.
You've got to tell us about Maggie's talk, or her speech that she always gives at about 9 a.m. in the morning before you go on.
Just the G-rated parts. G and PG.
Maggie was great. She was like, they're all the best. They're all so nice. Very enthusiastic.
Yeah. Did you see any celebrities in the Jeopardy cafeteria? Or wait, if you played on Wednesday, maybe you didn't get. Did you?
I was the game right before lunch.
Yeah.
So I headed out.
I don't think they have a cafeteria anymore. But I was there on Passover, so that's why I tabled Wednesday and Thursday. But they brought our food in.
Oh.
That's weird.
Times has changed, I guess.
Trying to think if I know anything from Battle of the Decades. to you, Bill? Did you hear anybody say anything?
Yeah, there was Oh wait, hold on. What was it? It was from the taping I went to for the 2000s, not the finals. They had a little gathering afterwards, and it was outdoors, outside of what is the new commissary. And somebody mentioned that, oh, remember the place that you had lunch at before? They don't do that now. They do it in here.
Oh, okay.
So they do have a commissary, but it's pretty new, apparently.
Oh, okay. Huh.
And shiny.
Shiny.
I remember lots of chrome.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. I think that we've just been on the air just under an hour, so I think it's time for us to say goodbye for another week. Once again, I'd like to thank all of our panelists, and no thanks to Google being slow and not very productive this evening, but we got through it nonetheless. Once again, thanks to Josh, Jeannie,
Yep.
Erica, Bill, and Ben. My opinion, Ben, keep the beard for the taping, but
right, yeah, sure.
That's okay. Probably not going to happen anyway, but I'd like to, once again, thank you for tuning in. I'm not sure quite when our next one's going to be. Probably Monday. That'll give us a chance to tape one more before the I guess the Tournament of Champions tapes, and Jeannie will probably try to wrestle up some people who don't usually join us because she'll be out in California. So
yep.
Once again, on behalf
so
of the
California
Jeopardy
people,
fans,
if you're watching and interested, let me know.
awesome. So once again, thanks to Erica for joining us with her insights from this past week, and
inviting me.
No
yes,
problem.
Thank you.
And so
Come back
yes,
another
thank
time.
You.
Yeah.
We'd love to have you. Okay.
Sounds great.
So, and also thanks to Bill for being a first-time panelist, and hope we can have you back again soon too.
Oh, I'd love to. Thank you for making it so painless.
Okay. Awesome.
Thank you for saying that.
Okay, so once again, on behalf of the JeopardyFan.com, I'm Andy Saunders. For Jeannie Kenkel and all of the other panelists, have a great night.